So I stopped talking about the Ghana Music Awards for the following reasons. Yes, I mean, if you followed my works earlier on, earlier in my life as a blogger, entertainment journalist, you realize that at a point I was often quite hard on the Ghana Music Awards. I would criticize it, I would say this, I would say my peace of mind on a number of issues. But I stopped doing all that in terms of critiquing at a point when I realized that, or I understood better what the awards was. For me, I had been watching Grammys for the longest time. I've been watching a lot of international awards for the longest time, and so I always wanted anything we do in Ghana to be close to these awards that I've been watching and enjoying over the period, thanks to Mochi Choice over the years. But it became increasingly sort of annoying speaking and not being heard. But I also sort of came to understand that this is what the awards is, and the better I understand it, as confusing as sometimes it may be, the better. So what do I mean? So I mean, in a lot of my reviews, you will realize that I was pushing for the awards to be structured a bit more like the Grammys. But I've also realized that a bigger chunk of what the Ghana Music Awards is similar to the American Music Awards, which is perhaps the world's most popular, largest fan base driven sort of awards show there is. Why do I say that? I would explain. So I always was torn between having something like Grammys versus that, because let's not forget the Ghana Music Awards has been some sort of a mix between the Grammy style and perhaps the American Music Awards style, which causes the confusion for them. So let's break it down. The Grammys is more of an artistic merit award, and so they look beyond popularity, whereas the American Music Awards is popularity driven, pop culture driven, in the sense that, so when it comes to, let me explain what it does. So unlike the Recording Academy handling the Grammys, the production of the American Music Awards is by the Dick Clark production. So it's pretty much similar to what you would have a Charterhouse Productions be. So this company, they do a lot of awards, I think including the Golden Globes and even the Billboard Awards, because yes, the bigger company is also a part owner in the Billboard Awards, and which also allows them to do what they've been doing for all these years. Because what happens is the nominations for the American Music Awards is driven by sales, streams, the hard data that shows these songs are popular and they are performing. And you can already, Billboard does that. Billboard and all the people involved in that, collecting the data and ranking it, they do that. So the channels are there. So they use that based on the performances to now nominate people. And then once the nominations are done, they leave it up to the fans to vote from the website, social media, etc., to decide who wins what in the various nominations. But of course, that's not the case with the Grammys. The Grammys is more by the Academy. It's voted by peers, producers, musicians, and everybody in between. And so they do that to do the nominations, and then when the main nominations are out to vote for winners, that's the same way they do. But it's a calculation, and it's quite random if you know how they do it. But that's how those things work. But when you come to the Ghana Music Awards, you have some categories being partly sort of a combination of the votes of the public or fans, and then a group called the board, and then a group called, I think, Academy. So it gets confusing. So they haven't clearly, they're not clearly based on popularity or by people voting based on merit or artistic merit. And they are combined the two. I think that for me is the foundation of a lot of the headache. That granted, I understand they are trying to combine the two, so that's good. And so I think the last critique I really did, which was some few years, even if you're doing the popularity, fine. I know, well, with the American Music Awards, it's fully based on, people can do multiple votings. I think 30 votes per category per day or whatever it is across the platforms. And so, yes, it's just fan-based. But when it comes to the Ghana one, I feel by them combining popularity, merit, and all together to award, I think they should further streamline the public votes so that the public vote is one per person. So if you are a fan of Shatta Wale and you are voting on your phone, you vote just once. If you're a fan of Stonebwoy and you are voting on your phone, whatever, if it's an MTN number, you may have your multiple phone numbers, that's fine. And you can vote multiple times on this platform. That's up to you. But I think there should be some restriction in terms of, because popularity is not how many times I can afford to vote for one person. That's fanaticism. And also it includes some sort of money, because in Ghana you dial a short code, blah, blah, blah. So to be a fair representation of who is truly popular, which is now a democratic representation, I think everybody should just vote once per any voting portal. That narrows it down. It gives you a closer sense of true popularity, if there's anything like that. And that's my last critique I think I did over, and I think it still holds, because yes, imagine I was allowed to vote so many times for Bawumia or for Mahama. Would that be truly democratic? And then whoever won, would it be truly democratic? Would it be that he's a choice of the people? Because I alone have voted so many times. So that's what I'm saying. So all these things combined sort of made me understand and say, hey, look, Ghana Music Awards, whether it's sponsored by Telecel, Vodafone, or MTN, is pretty much, nothing's going to change, because this is what they have structured. So maybe I can critique and say that, oh, perhaps this person deserved it more than the other. But then again, the rules are open, and it's quite not clear. And so who do you blame? Do you blame the Academy when the award goes the wrong way? Do you blame the board, which often is the case because they hold a bigger chunk of the decision making process? So that's what I want to share. So if you don't hear me now talking about Ghana Music Awards like I did in the past with so much passion, this is it. I have understood what they want to do, what they are standing out to do, and I'm cool with it. Bye.